Hello viewers, how are you all? I hope you're well. Gosh, I'm just enjoying this early autumn or late summer sunshine out in the garden. James and I are just picking the end of the Damsons. I thought we'd better actually do a bit of proper cooking. We're going to do a damson and ginger, not quite a pudding, not quite a cake. I call it a cake pudding today. I can't believe it's September tomorrow. Where's the year going? I've got that kind of back to school feeling when you think it's been such a lovely summer. Well, there's only one cure for that, isn't there? It's cake or pudding. So here we go. We've got the Louise's kitchen cat with us today as well, I think, haven't we, James? Is she sitting under there? Would you like to meet Tia, viewers? She's our adopted cat. She's half blind. We don't know how old she is. James, that might be a bit close. Yeah, that's it. We don't know how old she is. We think she's about 14. She is a beautiful, beautiful girl. I have to wash my hands now, so we'll just pause. Right. Okay, yeah, sorry about that, viewers. Hygiene's obviously very important. Always wash your hands if you're handling pets in the kitchen. Okay, so what we're going to do, ginger and damson cake. Now, damsons are not to everybody's taste. We have quite a lot of them in our garden. We also have Victoria plum trees, so it would work equally well with those. I've just taken those off the tree there. They're much sweeter. Damsons are quite tart. As you know, I don't have a very sweet tooth, so I tend to go with the tartar ones. So I probably use that amount of Victoria plums if I was using Victoria's. I'm going to probably use about the 12 biggest damsons that I can find, maybe 14. But really, this recipe I started to use up the ginger that gets left over in the sushi packs, which works absolutely perfectly in cakes. Never throw this away. You can use this in loads of things. I even put it in with noodles or things like that as well. So just because it comes with the sushi and you don't use it up, put it in your fridge, because the date on that is always much, much longer than sushi anyway. I tend to wash the packet in case there's any fish residue on it, and then it's absolutely fine, isn't it? So this is a fantastic thing. This is Dorset Ginger, and it says a fine traditional alcohol-free ginger drink. Well, I mean, it actually, it's so powerful. You would think it was scotch or something. So I'm probably going to use about, yeah, I'm probably going to actually finish that up, to be honest. That's ample, and that's the end of the bottle. I'm not going to sip that now because it makes you go, oh, you feel like you've really drunk scotch. But that's the secret ingredient. I discovered that stuff about a year ago, and it's really super. I put it in a lot of recipes. Real winter warmer, that one as well. I don't want to think about winter quite yet, but that's one for the winter too. So we're going to be adding, oh, I've forgotten to get the sugar out, just a little bit of golden castor I'll be putting in. I've got 3 ounces of melted butter here, which I've just melted. Going to put a couple of eggs in. I would have used 3 medium, but I haven't got any medium, so I've got 2 large, oops, oh, that's one for the camera, isn't it? That's an outtake. I've got 2 large eggs, which I'm going to beat first. 1, 2. Just give my hands a quick rinse as well because I don't like touching egg. Here we go. Right. Yeah, so 2 large eggs or 3 medium. Going to be using 5 ounces of flour, self-raising flour, a good pinch of baking powder, a good pinch of ginger. I tend to like the brand names with the spices, so I'm going to go with the Schwartz one there. 1 ounce of ground almonds. I'm hoping to have this with cream later. I'm probably going to put in 2 ounces of sugar, which is quite a lot for me, as you know. I normally use 1, but the damsons are quite tart, so it just lifts it for everybody else. Hoping for some fresh cream, but I haven't been shopping today, so if Lawrence brings some cream back, we'll have that. Otherwise, we're still using up the end of the camping food that we didn't quite manage to use everything in Scotland, so as we got washed out and had to end up in the caravan. So yeah, I've got a few things left over that we're using up basically, so that's always a good standby, custard or instant custard powder, I like. So yeah, so okay, I'm going to crack on with this then. Yeah, so I'm using golden castor for the sugar. I've actually gone with slightly less than 2 ounces, it's about 1 3/4 ounces, and I'm going to cream that together with the butter now. And then when I've done that, we'll add the egg.
Oh, yeah.
I should have said actually that's unsalted butter. The weird thing about living here, because we're so close to the coast, is the fruit that grows in the gardens tends to pick up a salty taste. It's so weird. I really noticed it because I used to live in the Midlands. So I don't use salted butter when I'm doing the dessert, or rarely anyway. Okay, so in goes the egg. That stir, and then I'll go and get the whisk. Okay, so now I'm going to add the rest of the wet ingredients, including the ginger from the sushi packets. So there goes the ginger. Isn't it strange that it's called Dorset Ginger? I mean, when you actually think about it, where on earth did they grow that? I mean, presumably they have grown it around here, but I thought it was no, am I just being silly? Isn't it meant to be like a tropical product? I don't know. It'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's the ginger in there. Lovely ginger liqueur. And then here we've got the sushi ginger. In it goes. There we are. Lovely. Okay. And now on with the dry ingredients. Starting with a pinch of this. A generous pinch, I think. Oh. There we go. Let's see. That'll do. That's absolutely perfect. So that's going to be about half a teaspoonful. Quarter to half a teaspoonful. Okay, viewers, so live as it happens, Catherine's just walked in. Hello, sweetheart. We had a lovely time.
Yeah.
You've been for a
Yeah,
picnic?
we went to a picnic. Oh, I've got flour in my hair and it's dead now.
Yeah. Okay,
So I can join you if you
yeah,
like.
come join me over here because I'm just making Damson and Damson and ginger pudding / cake for the viewers. But unfortunately, viewers, live as it happens, I've just cut open some of the Damsons and they've got worms in because of course this is the thing with organic food. So yeah, I don't want we don't want the worms on the telly, James. But so no, the ones that haven't got worms are absolutely fine, but they are a little bit sour. Even for me, they're not quite ripe. Last year they were much riper than this, so I got it slightly wrong. So what I'm going to do, this is just how to rescue the Damsons, is I'm going to put an extra ounce of sugar, or approximately an ounce, about this much on them. Give it a stir. And then I'm going to whack that in the microwave, just so it'll soften and go into them, which they will then be absolutely delicious. This is a bit of a one-off for me because, as you know, I am not big on sugar, but these, boy do these need it. So let's make them a little bit gorgeous by sticking them in here. Okay, so you've had a lovely time. You've been to Christchurch Quay?
Yeah.
How fabulous. It's been a lovely day for a picnic, hasn't it? It's not too hot.
Yeah, but at one point it was really windy, so the teacher decided to buy us all chips, which is really
How
nice.
lovely.
I'm going now.
That's lovely. That is lovely. Okay, so they're more, it's more like adding the jam. I like that sauce. Put that one on. Right, okay. Right. Okay, so I've added the 5, actually it was 6 ounce in the end of flour I went with, because we're going to have that little bit of extra liquid now because we've added the sugar. So I've had to adapt this recipe as we've gone along. I'm still going to put in approximately an ounce of ground almonds though. So these scales are pretty unreliable as scales go because they are 1955 I think. So that's about an ounce. So we'll go with that, okay? So in go the almonds, just gives it a nice nutty texture. I do love ground almonds. I think they're a fantastically versatile ingredient. So, but this is a really lovely batter. This cake will come out more like a steamed pudding, and I promise you will really enjoy it as a lovely comfort food. I think that's the word, and that's what I'm looking for this week with everybody going back to school, because that feeling, isn't it? It feels like Sunday night at the beginning of September. Okay, so that's what I'm left with there. That is now absolutely gorgeous. Not how I was initially going to make this one today, but you know, we've just been a little bit flexible there. Tip that in. I love the skins. If you don't like the skins, sift them out, but I love the skins. I have taken the stones out just because I think it's that awful thing, isn't it, when you bite down on the stone. But I know my grandma, when she used to make Damson jam, she always left the stones in because they do add a little bit of extra flavour. So let's just stir this around now. And this is going to be phenomenal. So just a little bit of flexibility. I mean, I go from one disaster to another in the kitchen, I have to say, and everything always turns out delicious. Pretty delicious, doesn't it? We get the odd really awful thing, like once when I made a cabbage and apple pie, which I'd actually read a recipe in a vegan book for, and it was just atrocious. But apart from that,
I existed at that point.
you didn't. You've cabbage and apple, and it was layered. So you put the cabbage leaves and then you put the apple.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but it was meant to be healthy. Right, now look at this. This is going to be absolutely delicious. So that will do.
It's a colour.
Yes. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah. It probably will come out a lot lighter than that, though. Okay, so let's pop that over there. And here we go. I must say, I've really enjoyed this LP. It's the Hollies 20 Golden Grapes. And I've really, really enjoyed it. I haven't heard it for a long time. And the Hollies were a question on Popmaster the other day with Ken Bruce. And I thought, well, I'll put the Hollies on. This is going to be so delicious. I'm glad you're back in time, Catherine. Now I think we're going to put this one in the oven on, I've got the oven preheated on 160, and I think we're going to cook this for about, probably, I'll check it after 25 minutes, but I think it'll need 40. And I'm just going to get that little mark off there as well, because it will burn otherwise on the dish. Do you remember when we bought this dish, Catherine? It's an absolutely lovely one, isn't it? The French one.
Really nice.
Right, that'll do.
I like the orange
That's better.
flower. Of course.
Okay, here we go. Into the oven then on about 160, and I'll check it. I'll keep my eye on it, but I think it'll take 40 to 45 minutes. Check it after 25. Okay, it smells absolutely gorgeous in here, so let's have a little look at it. Turn the oven off now. It's been in quite a while, hasn't it? It had the full 45 minutes. Now. Oh, it smells phenomenal. It hasn't risen quite as much as I hoped it would, and the reason is I forgot to put a teaspoon of baking powder in, so although that's not risen badly, the last one I did of those was literally blowing over the edge, so yeah, it doesn't look as perfect as it might have, but it smells fantastic. I'm just going to leave it 3 or 4 minutes there before I tip it out, just so that it firms up a little, but that smells fantastic. I can't wait to get tucked into that one. Okay, so it did need nearly an hour in the end. It smells, wow, just really smells fantastic. It has sunk down a little bit, so yeah, it was very silly of me to forget the baking powder, but that's life. This is a real kitchen. This is what happens. I get distracted. I'm a foolish person, but I cannot wait to try this. Let's have a little look there. Oh, lovely and moist. And I'm going to add a bit of cream. I'm just going to have a little bit now, and then I should have a huge slice later. Actually, what's really nice, I don't know if you can see that the Damsons are, if you can, perhaps take a little look inside the cake, James, you can actually see that they have not gone sort of like too much like a jam. Oh, this looks absolutely gorgeous. Let's just pour a little bit on and let's see whether the proof of the pudding. Oh, tastes phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. It's not my finest work because of the lack of baking powder. It's slightly stodgier than it would have been, so not as light a consistency as I would have hoped for. So don't forget a generous pinch of baking powder if you make this one. But the taste. Oh, I can't fake that, viewers. Oh, beautiful. Okay, I'm going to sit and scoff this now. Take care of each other. Have a wonderful evening. Be kind to everybody. Do a good deed for somebody. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.